best part about having a passive house is just knowing that you are living in a sustainable way and it's really good for the environment.
Meet Emma and Scott Kark. They recently built a home in Burgess Creek using the passive house principles to save costs on energy and to reduce their carbon footprint.
So we decided to build a house facing north, and that is to maximise the potential with getting the sunlight.
So all the windows are shaded, and then in the winter the sun kind of comes around this way. You can open up the curtains and it comes in and heats up the concrete slab. So I tried to face all the windows to the north as well. No windows really to the south because there's not really much to capture from that side. Less windows equals more insulation.
A big factor of the passive house design is air tightness. The doors are double glazed, double sealed, and have a system that suctions the doors closed, through to the spare bedroom where the windows are designed in a similar fashion.
So the windows are tilt and turn, also double glazed, so if you go up they tilt in, which is actually really good because you can have them open and go out and stuff like that, and no water comes in like if it's raining, so you don't have to worry about that. And so they're all airtight as well.
Because the home is airtight, a heat recovery ventilation system is in place. I'll let Scott explain.
There's like a false ceiling in here and throughout the house, so the heat recovery ventilation and the aircon and the dehumidifier all lives up here. The heat recovery runs all the time. Because it is airtight, you would literally run out of oxygen if you didn't have heat recovery ventilation kind of running all the time.
The main bedroom also has the big glass sliding doors letting in lots of sunlight. When it hits the concrete, it heats the flooring, helping to warm the whole house in the winter. In the warmer months, the couples use the curtains to keep the sun out. And on the western side of the house, they've built a structure to help shade the home.
So this room would get the warmest out of all of them. We were running an ice bath out there for a while. Yeah. Basically, I just built this out of recycled hardwood so that as soon as the sun kind of comes this way in the summer, it's blocked out. And then in the winter, it doesn't really affect it too much.
Let's talk thermal bridges, a specific passive house design standard.
The things is that you can't have any thermal bridges. With timber, it's okay because timber is a good insulator. Normally, it would have like 90mm posts. So like either side of this door would have 90mm posts, and the lintel over the top would also be 90mm thick, but we had to get them made 75mm so that they don't have contact with the outside world basically. So that's how you eliminate the thermal bridges.
And what's a vapour barrier?
Most houses these days, normally it's wrapped in like a foil sarking, and what happens is when a house gets warm inside and cold outside, you'll get condensation on that, and then it drips down inside the walls and causes mould. With the passive house, it has to be airtight, and also has to be airtight with a vapour barrier. So it's kind of like Gore-Tex where it will let moisture out, but also still be airtight, so you don't get that moisture build up inside the walls and any like potential for mould. And so they literally have to wrap the whole house and tape with this like really strong tape, basically tape every window, every door, every crack, every nail hole gets taped. We did one test, but we haven't done the final test. Once the whole house is taped up, they put like a plastic kind of frame around the window, around the door, and do the vacuum test, and they suck all the air out of the house. And to get the passive house certification, you need to get 0.6 or less air changes per hour. So for reference, like a normal house would have up to like 15 air changes per hour.
So what does the couple notice as far as cost and comfort?
We've definitely noticed a huge saving in our energy bills. We try and use everything while the solar's on anyway, but we actually had over the last quarter a $60 bill, so that was incredible.
I think it was probably twice that without the solar. Compared to the house we were living in before, I think, we were getting $300-400 or more.
Don't really have to worry about heating, so we usually heat up the floor in winter, just in our bedroom, and that will heat the whole house up. In the summer months, it does still get a little bit warm. We usually just put the aircon on for about an hour, and that will cool down the whole house. So.
Basically went the whole winter without using a heater.
And for anyone interested in building a passive house, would they recommend it?
Yeah, for sure. Compared to building a normal, like a volume build, it's obviously a bit more expensive. Most people say it's like 20% more expensive, which is probably about right. At the end of the day, like the comfort that you get from it, I think is the biggest thing.
Living in a sustainable way, and it's really good for the environment. Just knowing that you're not having to use as much energy and just trying to utilize the environment as much as possible.